Hello, everyone. This is Monday with the Mayor, and I'm Joy Holt. And today we're in Huntingburg with Mayor Denny Spinner. Hey, Denny.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Huntingburg.
Yes, long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's our turn on the air, so I'm looking forward to this.
I've been looking forward to this interview all week.
Great.
You've been on my whiteboard, so that's been
great.
good.
I'm glad I'm somewhere. So.
All right, so let's get started.
Okay.
So the Common Council has made some headway this month with the Wagon Works housing development. Can
Right.
you give us an update of where you guys are at?
Really, we had our last council meeting. Kind of the final pieces came together on to provide the developer that's interested in this project the tools they need to go and complete the application. What the most recent action has been is there was an approval of the tax abatement program that would go into place should this project be awarded funding from the state. So tax abatement is in place that would allow some funds to be collected or reduce the amount of the development costs that really make this project happen. What the project entails is a development of what was the Wagon Works site into a 56-unit apartment complex that really is designed to meet the workforce housing demands that Du Bois County is having. So this is part of our stellar designation area that we were eligible for funds from the state of Indiana through Stellar for a project just like this. So what the action on Tuesday night was to approve the tax abatement, which is a 10-year abatement that is limited to $320,000. That if over the 10-year period, if the amount of taxes is abated up to $320,000, it will end at that time. And what was stated at the meeting was that the site is undeveloped at this point. And the 10-year abatement, if the site remained undeveloped for that period of time, in the 11th year, the taxes that will be accrued at that point will be greater than the 10 years of a vacated land. Now, I don't want to assume that land would never be developed, but that's kind of the thought of this is this incentive will produce tax revenues past that 10-year period into a long foreseeable future, but also during that 10-year period, when this building comes into play and becomes occupied, it'll hopefully increase our population some. We'll bring new residents to Huntingburg. We have our own utility systems, so that those customers will all be our utility customers. There'll also be people who work and live in Huntingburg that will provide additional income taxes that are something that we would collect as well by having the growth in the city. And they hopefully, the idea of being close to the downtown, that they would support our local businesses. They'll be the people that are shopping in our stores, going to the grocery, going to the stores downtown, buying gasoline, things like that will generate some funds as well. So, it is always a question of how do you incentivize this and what's the effect. And I think the long-term effect on this is obviously a lot more positive than the commitment we're making over that period, and the council saw that. So with that action, with the rezoning that took place, and with the designation of that area as a redevelopment area suitable for housing, that allows the developer Paragus to go apply in November to the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority for the tax credits that they need to make the project go forward. We won't know the result of that application until February of 18. But should that application be successful in February of 18, they get the award, then there's going to be probably a 6 to 8 month period where they get their financial picture all together to make the project possible. So best case scenario, should the application be successful, we'll probably not see construction on that site for about a year. Okay. So that would be about this time next year was when you would probably see construction begin, and it's they said somewhere between a 12 to 15 month process for that to be completed. So again, timeline-wise, if everything goes well, we're probably looking at the Wagon Works apartment complex to open probably in fall of 2019.
Okay, so how important is workforce housing? Like, has this been a mission of yours?
Well, this has been a focus, I think, of all of Du Bois County's elected officials. It goes back, 3 or 4 years. Again, we are blessed in Du Bois County to have a great workforce. We're blessed to have a number of employers that have supported our community for years and years with their jobs that they provide. We're in a point where our industries, our local businesses are expanding, and there is a need for additional workers. We're at 3% unemployment, or 3% or less some months, which is a great thing, but is also a challenge. And the challenge is, how do we grow the workforce? How do we get more people to come and live and work in Du Bois County and fill the jobs that our manufacturers and our other businesses have available to them? And affordable housing is a key. And we've had 3 studies over the last 3 years that have kind of verified that. It's just not something that we think. It is something that has been verified through a number of studies, through Du Bois Strong, through our own work, through our work with the Office of Community and Rural Affairs. There's verifiable evidence that this is a need. And another thing that I would say to that, another thing that verifies all this, is we do have someone like Apparagus and the others who are interested in Du Bois County, the developers that are coming to build this housing. That's their job. That's what they do for a living, and they wouldn't be coming and making the types of investments that we're seeing if they didn't believe there was a product there to be utilized. They're businessmen. They're good business people, and they've done the analysis as well. And they believe there is a market for their product in Huntingburg, in Jasper, in Ferdinand, and Du Bois County. And these are all things that I think are keys to us to continue to be the economic engine that Du Bois County has been historically, and wants to be in the future.
Okay, so you're bringing workforce development in, or workforce housing in, and with that, you have to bring some fun stuff too. Right. So you've got the Herbstfest coming up.
Right.
So that's part of community growth as well.
That's Herbstfest is always one of the most fun weeks in Huntingburg. It's a great time. It's the 37th festival, the Herbstfest in Huntingburg, and people always. I want to say this, publicly, that people during the week will come up and say, "Mayor, this is a great fest." I have very little to do with the success of this festival, other than I contribute to the food stands on a regular basis. So, but the committee that has done this for years, we've got some great leadership in the Herbstfest committee that are very, very dedicated people to making this fest happen. And I'm not going to name any names because I would forget someone, but to everyone who has served on the committee over the last several years, this is a tremendous event for our community. This is a time when all of Huntingburg can come together and have a chance to celebrate, and most importantly, if you go back to their origins of the Herbstfest, it was the fact that every booth down there in the park next week will be some sort of a agency, a church, a civic organization that supports our community throughout the year. And this is our opportunity to give them some support back, by buying their food or buying their drinks or playing their games. This is a major fundraiser for most of those organizations. So it's really a great two-way street. We get the chance to be together and celebrate, and there's a lot of fun events going on and things that happen on a regular basis throughout the years. But it's also a chance to support those who provide the services and provide the entertainment, provide the support that we have enjoyed all through the year. So when you go down and you buy a tenderloin sandwich or you buy a funnel cake or whatever, not only you get the great enjoyment of having some great food, which, by the way, I will say without a doubt, the Herbstfest has the best food of any festival in this area. It's just my professional opinion on that. You are supporting your community and doing that, and you're having a fun time doing it. So, it starts. Actually, the first event is this coming. It was Sunday with the crowning of the Queen.
Okay.
But then we will go ahead and start on Thursday night, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be the schedule is everywhere. You go do what you want. Parade 2:00 on Sunday,
Okay.
line the streets. The traditional Herbstfest parade route will be there, and it's just I hope everybody comes out and enjoys the week to come.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. And you'll be down there cruising the breaded tenderloin stands?
That's usually my Thursday stop, and I got on my agenda. I know kind of where I'm going. So
You heard it here. He'll be down there Thursday eating breaded tenderloin.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Denny, so much for sitting down and taking the time with us today.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's been Monday with the Mayor. I'm Joy Holt.